What does it actually mean to be authentic at work? That's the question we're going to answer. And I'm going to give you 3 tips on how to not just be authentic, but use it as your strategy. Now, first of all, why am I wearing these stupid headphones? Because I've been wearing them all day and I can't figure out how to change the audio. So we're going to deal with it. So that's first an example of authenticity. I am essentially exposing something about myself when you don't really expect it, in the service of you. Like, I do that because I want you to feel comfortable. I want you to feel a little more connected and trusted. So let's take a step back. If you're thinking about being authentic at work, you're probably like most people. Like, that sounds awesome. And then you're like, but wait a minute. Does that ever mean everybody else is coming to work like themselves? Because that's not going to work out very well. Now, here's the problem. Here's what you're actually thinking about. You're thinking about a word I call faux-authentic. And faux-authentic means to bring your whole poopy self to work. And that's not what we're talking about. Here's the truth. The root word of authenticity is authentikos. It's Greek. And it means 3 things. It means to be genuine, original, and authoritative. What I like to say is it's sort of like Joe Exotic and Kamala Harris had a baby. Rare. And so what I like to say is that authenticity is actually about exposing who you are when people least expect it, in the service of others. Let me say that again. Authenticity is exposing who you are when people least expect it, in the service of others. Yes, authenticity is actually not about you. Because when you choose to be authentic, especially in the workplace, when it's really, really easy to go down the inauthentic river with everybody else, you're doing it because you realize that it creates incredible connection and trust. And by the way, most importantly, it also differentiates you from all the other schmucks out there. So I want you to think about authenticity not simply as being yourself, simply being transparent, but this thing that you do to buck the norm in order to create these connections and trust. And so here are 3 starter things that you can do tomorrow to start using authenticity and being authentic at work for your own advantage. Well, first for others, but then it all comes back to you. Number 1, change your out of office settings. The next time you go on vacation, stop talking like a robot. Stop simply saying, I will be out of the office. I will get back to you as soon as possible. Contact Joan if you have any. Like, who are you? And what a missed opportunity. Because you probably send like 100 of those suckers out every day, right? So change it up. Talk like a human. Maybe crack a joke or simply tell the truth. Going away on a long weekend for a softball tournament for my daughter. I'll get back when I'm rested and, not on the mound. And what happens is as soon as you say something different, first of all, it wakes people up, but also makes them connect, whether it's, wow, my daughter also played softball. I remember those trips to Florida on spring break. Or it just makes them smile and realize that you have the guts to go against the norm. So that's number 1, change your out of office. Number 2, I'd really like you to think about changing your LinkedIn profile. Oh my goodness. If I see one more LinkedIn profile that's written in 3rd person that says I lead matrixed companies, proven leader BS, like, what does that do for other people? It makes you just fit in. If you're not standing out, you're just fitting in. So simply at least change it to 1st person and tell a story about you, or I have a unique superpower. It's to blah, 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 blah. Like, pretend like you're talking to an old college friend after you've had about a quarter glass of wine. And number 3, tell a story. Tell a story at the beginning of a meeting if you're a leader, or even if you're not, if you have a status meeting or a sales presentation. Find that story. Maybe it's literal, maybe it's metaphorical. Stories are everywhere. That grabs people's attention, first of all, and makes them stop like multitasking, but also has them connect with your point so much easier. Stories are remembered 22 times more than facts and fiction. Facts and fiction? Facts and figures, that would be. So those are my 3 tips today. If you ever have been wondering, like, what does it really mean? And can we really be authentic at work? My answer is yes, but it takes work and it takes you thinking about others.